Good morning, and we're gonna be diagnosing this 1999 Mark III VW Jetta. Yeah, it's a project car of mine that it has been in the process of getting painted and getting details and things that I have done to it. And last year I replaced the fuel pump, and I haven't been able to drive it because I was waiting for a catalytic converter, some other repairs and things. Still missing some pieces and trim, but it's in the process. So anyway, I will open it and verify the complaint. So this car has been running perfectly up until one day I decided to run it for a little bit because the battery was running a little bit low. And I will run it, and it ran fine until all of a sudden it started to shut off, and this is what is happening. That's all I got. Bear in mind I have disconnected the downstream oxygen sensor because I was actually installing the catalytic converter, and it was not really caused by the catalytic converter, this problem. It had it before. So that's all I got. So on to diagnosing. So this is a 2.0 engine code VW, engine code ABA, a very reliable workhorse with a distributor. It's got a distributor, sequential fuel injection, and is air-cooled front-wheel drive automatic. And but the peculiar things about it is fuel injection with a return circuit. It's not returnless, so it has two lines. This is the fuel pressure regulator, controlled by vacuum, and this is the feed line and the return. So onto the fuel delivery system. So I located the fuel pump on this car. I know it very well, so I know where everything is. In different vehicles you might have to look for it. Usually will be, well, depending on the year or manufacturing time or technology or era, it might be easy to access, like in this case, from the top of the gas tank. But in some others, it might be that it's an ordeal that requires you to drop the tank and then access it that way, which I'm not a fan of, but there's some. So anyway, I actually replaced this a year ago. So anyway, here we have three hoses. One is a vapor line, which I'm not going to be very worried about unless this has a leak, which it looks like it may have a leak. I have to vapor test this. I have a feed line and a return line, and then I have 4 wires. 2 are fat, 2 are skinny. Can anybody imagine how this thing works? 2 fat and 2 skinny. Alright, I'll leave that for a moment. Alright, also this is a way to verify that I have fuel starvation or lack of fuel or lack of flow. I'm going to add a little bit of pretty much fuel to the intake. And then start the engine and see if it actually maintains an idle. And let's see. It actually does. Until it has no more fuel. Okay, so on to test the fuel pump. Now on the fuel pump, I got already a power probe here, and I'm going to power the power lead of the fuel pump. Try to make sure that you don't damage the wires. Now when you hook up the power probe to it, it allows you to see if you have a ground path, and I do. Now listen. It doesn't sound very healthy. Something happened to this thing. But to verify, I'm going to hook up oscilloscope to check that. Okay, so I actually installed an oscilloscope and an inductive pickup to verify the electrical condition of this motor, the electrical pump. And when I power it, I get this signal. Actually, I'm going on the negative side because I am checking on the ground side. And it doesn't look too bad. So what's next? I was expecting to see a problem on the pump, but it doesn't seem too bad.